Tomorrow is the season and series finale of Star Wars The Bad Batch, episode 15, The Cavalry Has Arrived. You know what? Maybe I should put this hat on. Oh, wait a second. This is infantry, not cavalry. Oh well. So while I normally do my predictions video as a short, the season finale, the series finale deserves a bit more, a bit longer. So first let's talk about cavalry. So obviously I made a joke involving this Union Kepi from the Civil War. Well, actually this is a reproduction. It's not even a good reproduction. It's not accurate in some regards. But the point still stands is, when we think of the cavalry in America, we think of two things. One, we think of Civil War era cavalry. And two, we think of something coming in to save the day. And often that will be, horse-mounted cavalry. The infantry is surrounded. They got nowhere to go. And then the cavalry comes riding on the horses and chases the enemy away, saving the infantry. We often would think like that. Though I do want to say, in Star Wars The Clone Wars The Bad Batch arc, if I remember correctly, Wrecker has the line, "The cavalry has arrived," referring to the Bad Batch saving the Regs. So, where I'm going with this is, yes, the Bad Batch probably will be doing a lot of amazing stuff, rescuing the clones on Tantus. Omega's obviously freeing herself, but the thing is, how will they get off Tantus? The cavalry arriving is not going to be the Bad Batch. It's not going to be the cavalry. It's going to be the Regs. The Regs are going to be the cavalry of the title that are going to be rescuing the Bad Batch and everyone else on Tantus, turning the tide so they can actually escape. Now, there's probably going to be a lot of character deaths. The only character I am positive that's going to survive is Omega. Why? Because they're not going to kill off a young teenage girl. They're not going to do that. Well, maybe they will because we think they won't. I still think it's unlikely that Omega and the kids will die. They're going to be the only ones to survive for sure. And also, we know Wolf, Gregor, and Rex are going to survive as well since they have to appear in Star Wars Rebels. But that's it. Hunter, Crosshair, Wrecker, Echo, Hauser, Emery, Dr. Hemlock. Okay, Dr. Hemlock is definitely dying and he's not even a good guy. But the thing is, everyone has the chance, except for the characters we see in the future and Omega and the other kids. Everyone else has a chance of dying. I think more than one of them will die, but not all of them. Who will survive, I don't know. I feel like the most likely candidate for survival actually is Crosser, given his story arc. But at the same time, maybe his story arc will be, sacrificing himself to save somebody else. When Rampart was telling Crosser that they're not so different, i.e. self-interested, Crosser literally says, "I changed." And I think the culmination of that change would be almost him sacrificing himself for somebody else. For Omega, for the other clones, doesn't matter. That would be a fitting conclusion to his arc, but at the same time, I want him to survive. I'm torn on that, but I can see it working either way. So the true fitting would be if Omega's already safe, but he goes back to save somebody else. Doesn't matter, maybe Hunter, maybe Wrecker, maybe Echo, maybe some other clone we've never met before, to truly show that he has changed. I don't necessarily think that is going to happen, but that would be a fitting conclusion. I think there's a strong chance that Wrecker will somehow not make it out, just because he sees himself as a leader. He's probably to be the first one to go and do something, to order everyone else to go while he holds them back, the Empire back, something like that. Of course, it could also be Wrecker too. I mean, he is kind of portrayed as quote-unquote the child of the Batch. He's portrayed as, more fun, little more into humor, little more naive. So in some ways, it would be more tragic, it will hurt us more if he was the one to die. And then of course there's Echo, which, is equally possible. He's the last Domino surviving, and as they say, dominoes fall. So it is very possible that he was to die. He already had to ditch his armor and ditch his little computer thing so he could disguise himself. He's losing his identity. Not quite, but you know what I mean. That's a possibility. Then of course there's Emery Khan. Maybe she sees that this is the only way to make sure the Omega, the children, the other clones survive. Then she'll do something that puts herself in danger but saves everyone else. That's another possibility as well. There are so many possibilities for a character to die, but also for characters to survive. Emily has a chance to finally turn things around. Maybe help clones deal with accelerated aging. I don't know. Every character has their reasons for dying and for surviving. Even Omega, who I don't think is going to die, has a reason to die and survive. No, survive? I mean, she's young. She has her life ahead of her. She'll make sure everyone gets out, though. And she could do that by surviving, but she could also do that by sacrificing herself. It's equal like, or maybe Boba Fett's going to swoop in. I doubt that, but that would be interesting. But there's one thing I can say for sure. If Omega rides the Zero Beast on a rampage to Mount Tantus and the Zero Beast eats Dr. Hemlock, I will go crazy, but in a good way. I don't think that's going to happen, but she's definitely going to release the Zero Beast to cause some trouble. And I think it would be fitting. And I think it would be fitting if the Zero Beast eats Dr. Hemlock. And then we cut to a scene Tarkin or some other Imperials giving a report on what happened to Tantus to Emperor Palpatine, and Palpatine sees Zero Beast rampage and he's like, blast the planet. And that's going way back to, I think, season 2, where the Zero Beast went after Palpatine, and one of the few times we ever see Palpatine show genuine fear. So I would like to say, Zero Beast out, he's not even taking any chances. Okay, that's probably not going to happen, but I think it would be cool and neat. But ultimately, I think the Tantus is going to get shut down. There's no doubt about that. We're going to have our hearts poured out on us. We're going to be sad. We're going to be maybe even traumatized. But I think it's going to end bittersweet. There's going to be somehow a hopeful note in whatever ends up happening. There's going to be a hopeful note at the end amidst all of the sorrow, all the tragedy. That's very similar to how Revenge of the Sith ended, with Obi-Wan delivering Luke to his aunt and uncle, and they're staring out at the sunset. Or was it a sunrise, symbolizing the birth of a new hope for the galaxy? Like that, there's going to be a bittersweet but hopeful note. That is going to be my predictions on what is going to happen in Star Wars The Bad Batch. The Cavalry Has Arrived. But that's just a series, a Star Wars series. What do you think is going to happen in Star Wars The Bad Batch? The Cavalry Has Arrived. Thank you for watching my video. I do hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please be sure to give this video a like and share. Also, consider subscribing to my channel to stay up to date on all my latest content. You can also stay up to date on my content by following me on social media. I have a link tree down in the description which has all my social media links on it. Additionally, if you would like to support the channel, you can become a channel member and get early access to all my videos. In the meantime, thank you for watching, and as always, have a good day, a good night, wherever you are. May the Force be with you always.